Hello and welcome to the Sun Down Under, the podcast home for all things I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, as the jungle drums finally stopped beating last night and the series landed on ITV, ready to bring us a top month of telly. I'm Felicity Cross, Deputy TV Editor at The Sun, and right now I wish there was two of me to talk about everything that happened last night, because it was good, wasn't it? Some of those trials, really nice to see some new innovation from ITV. The sets looked gorgeous and the celebrities were really put through the paces, weren't they? Josie, covered in all of that goop, was a sight to see. She's usually so well put together. And I just loved the banter between everyone on top of that focus building roof. Fred, stop the small talk, so sassy.
Right, we're going to have to get going.
Fred's got to be somewhere.
Got to go for lunch.
There's no lunches.
Exactly what we hoped to see from the Frenchmen. And Ant and Dec were just on form, weren't they? Pulling those faces as the likes of Marvin and Nick were busy underneath that big, gruesome Aztec temple. Brilliant stuff. Exactly what you want. But what we are looking forward to is what's going to happen when they're all back in that camp. So stay tuned and I can let you know what's coming up in camp for the rest of the week. But now it's time for some gossip. So, we're hearing that all is not well in camp right now for Jamie Lynn Spears. So she's so Hollywood, she's so starry, she comes from a completely different world to people like Marvin from JLS and Danielle, who was on EastEnders. So while they'll find some common ground in there, missing family and friends, right now, at this very beginning, it's likely that Jamie Lynn is feeling quite isolated, and it's starting to show. We can reveal that the crew have her on high alert, basically as a quit threat. She's a flight risk. They're worried she's going to quit, because right now she's not having a great time. So Jamie Lynn, she had to face not one but two trials on the way in, and that's going to rub everyone up the wrong way, isn't it?
Oh my God! This is just...
That's green ants. Bloody hell.
But we're hearing things like, for example, on Sunday morning, the day after she entered camp, she stayed in bed that little bit longer than everybody else, by herself. She's coming across as quite miserable in camp. There's moments, you probably saw them on the TV last night, where she is involved in chat around camp and she is speaking to the others, but there's that divide there, and it's all starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Obviously, ITV are doing everything they can in terms of welfare, chatting to her in the Bush Telegraph, but right now, she is a flight risk. It wouldn't be the first time that Jamie Lynn has quit so early either. You can read all about this in today's Sun newspaper or online at thesun.co.uk. But she's got form for it. She lasted just 2 weeks on Dancing with the Stars. That's the US version of Strictly. She was voted out in week 2. But she also quit America's version of SAS Who Dares Win Special Forces. She basically broke down after just 48 hours and told the directing staff over there that she just couldn't go on. She felt like she was being a crap mum to her daughters, Maddie 14 and 4-year-old Ivy. She said, I miss my children when I'm away from them for a couple of hours, so this is very big for me. They didn't ask for their mum to be gone, my babies. So we know from Gemma Collins back in the day that for a celebrity to receive their full paycheck for I'm A Celebrity, they need to stay for 72 hours in camp. Now Gemma didn't back in 2014, brilliant turn that was, but she confirmed that she only received £4,800 for her time on the show.
Ah! There's something in my hair! What is it? I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
She gave it to charity, but it gave us that little insight into exactly what goes on behind the scenes of the show and these contracts and negotiations. So what else have we got coming up this week? They're all in camp, they're all getting along so far, but I don't think that's going to last for long. Now, I'm not a betting woman, but already we know that Fred Stewart and Grace Dent are going into that camp with a little bit of historic beef with Nigel Farage. And we can reveal that there's another one heading into camp with some serious beef with Nigel.
Well, this is different.
And that man with the beef is boxer Tony Bellew. He is heading into camp with a grudge against Nigel, and it is going to be epic if these two manage to face off. Tony's one of the latecomers who is rumoured to be arriving later in the week alongside racing legend Frankie Dettori. You can read all about that one in today's Sun newspaper, but take it from me, I think this is going to make for fantastic telly.
You just don't see that coming. I'm living in a camp with Nigel Farage.
Before arriving in Australia, Nigel predicted that he would be facing many a trial. Obviously, following in the vein of Matt Hancock last year, the public just love to exact punishment by I'm A Celebrity trial. And it looks like Nigel has begun his sentence. So he will face the Jungle Pizzeria alongside YouTuber Nella Rose. They're going to be doing a full-scale eating trial. Obviously, the clue's in the name. It will involve some pizza, but probably a lot more nasty business than you'd expect down your usual Domino's. It's going to be fantastic. Can't wait for that coming up on tonight's show. Elsewhere, we're hearing that Nigel Farage has not yet decided who he's inviting out to join him on that jungle bridge, apparently because there's so many people in his life that want to attend. A source close to the politician told The Sun there is a huge amount of family and friends who want to travel to Australia and support Nigel. They said the list is yet to be finalised. Now, do you think this is just to support Nigel, or do you think this is because they want the trip out to Australia? Just a question to the floor.
Order!
The celebs have been in there a couple of nights now. They went into camp on Saturday afternoon. So by now, we'll definitely have had some niggles around food, around who's doing the cooking, about who's starting to snore, and everyone was starting to feel that tiredness creeping in. Homesickness, probably as well, but for now, they've all been entertaining each other. We're bound to see the cracks start to appear soon though. So it's going to be a juicy week on I'm A Celeb to get me out of here. And I'll be here every day to bring you all of the gossip behind the scenes from the Sun newspaper. So just make sure that you've got the Sun Down Under on your playlist, ready to start each day with a dose of jungle fun. With me, Felicity Cross, Deputy TV Editor at The Sun. See you tomorrow.